All right, let's dive into testosterone optimization. We're going to be going deep of this one. Using the King's Road Guide 2024-2025 to increase testosterone. We're going to separate fact from bro science, I think we've all felt that kind of sluggishness, that lack of drive. Could low T be the culprit?
It's definitely a possibility. The King's Road Guide really digs into not just what testosterone but like how it impacts us in ways you might not expect.
Testosterone's not just a guy thing, right?
Exactly. It's crucial for both men and women. Impacts everything from muscle growth and energy to mood, libido, even bone health. It's a key player in overall vitality.
Okay, so it's not just about getting swole then. This guide even mentions a link between testosterone and cognitive function. It's like brain fuel.
It is. Studies have shown a correlation between healthy testosterone levels and sharper thinking, better memory, all that, which is why optimizing those levels is important for everyone.
That's where this King's Road Guide really shines, I think. It's packed with actionable tips on naturally boosting testosterone. It's not just the usual eat your veggies advice. Let's dive into the specifics, starting with exercise.
Okay.
They don't just say hit the gym, they get granular about it.
Right. They emphasize compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench presses, exercises that engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously, send a stronger signal to your body to produce more testosterone.
Interesting. So it's not about isolating biceps, it's about working smarter, not harder.
Oh,
For those of us who aren't, powerlifters, they do mention high-intensity interval training or HIIT as a great option, too.
absolutely. Short bursts of intense activity, followed by brief recovery periods, can be incredibly effective for boosting testosterone and can be adapted to various fitness levels. Think like sprints, burpees, jump squats, anything that gets your heart rate up quickly.
Sounds intense, but doable. Now let's talk about recovery. This King's Road Guide stresses the importance of sleep for testosterone production.
Think of sleep as your body's testosterone factory, working the night shift. During those deep sleep cycles, your body is hard at work, producing testosterone and other vital hormones. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night to really maximize this process.
Solid advice. But they also go beyond just saying get more sleep. They actually have tips for improving sleep quality.
Yes. They suggest establishing a consistent sleep schedule, creating a cool, dark, and quiet sleep environment, and avoiding screen time for at least an hour before bed. All of these can significantly improve the quality of your sleep, and therefore, your testosterone production.
So ditch the late-night doom scrolling. Got it. Now let's talk fuel. The guide has a whole section on nutrition and its impact on testosterone.
It goes beyond just eating healthy fats, although those are important. They highlight the importance of zinc, for example. While oysters are a well-known source, the guide also recommends pumpkin seeds, which are packed with zinc and magnesium, another mineral linked to testosterone production.
Pumpkin seeds. Now that's a snack I can get behind. What else do they recommend?
They emphasize the importance of vitamin D, which plays a crucial role in testosterone production. Getting adequate sunlight is ideal. But if that's not possible, they suggest supplementing with vitamin D3.
Right, because here in the real world, sunshine isn't always an option. Good to know supplements can pick up the slack. The guide also talks about healthy fats, which we hear a lot about these days.
And for good reason. Monounsaturated fats, found in foods like avocados, olive oil, and nuts, have been shown to support healthy testosterone levels. They also help regulate other hormones, making them a win-win for overall hormonal balance.
So it's not just about cutting out the bad stuff, it's about actively adding in those testosterone-boosting foods.
Exactly. It's about giving your body the building blocks it needs to function optimally. Now, one often overlooked factor the guide dives into is stress management.
Stress. Seems to be the root of all evil these days. But how does it actually affect testosterone?
When you're chronically stressed, your body releases cortisol, which, in a nutshell, competes with testosterone. It's like a hormonal tug of war. By managing stress, we can tip the scales in testosterone's favor.
Okay, so cortisol's the bad guy. Got it.
Yeah.
But what are some practical ways to combat this cortisol surge? Everyone always says meditate. Is that really the answer?
Meditation is definitely helpful, but the guide also suggests things like spending time in nature, engaging in hobbies you enjoy, even just taking a few deep breaths when you feel overwhelmed. It's about finding what works for you to reduce those stress levels.
So it's not about eliminating stress altogether. It's about managing it effectively and finding those outlets that bring you back to a state of calm.
Precisely. And that, in turn, can have a positive impact on your testosterone levels. Now, shifting gears a bit, the King's Road Guide emphasizes the connection between weight management and testosterone levels. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about hormonal balance.
Right. Because we've all heard that excess weight can mess with your hormones, especially around the belly.
Yeah.
But what's the science behind that?
Essentially, fat cells can convert testosterone into estrogen, leading to an imbalance. The guide specifically points to visceral fat, the kind that surrounds your organs, as the biggest culprit.
So it's not just about fitting into your genes, it's about what's happening on the inside. But the guide isn't advocating for crash diets, is it?
Definitely not. They advocate for a sustainable approach, focusing on those lifestyle changes we've already discussed: exercise, nutrition, stress management. They even suggest incorporating strength training, as building muscle mass can help regulate hormones and boost metabolism.
It's all coming full circle. The guide also touches on a couple of habits that are pretty much universally bad news. Excessive alcohol and smoking. What's their take on those?
They're pretty clear both can directly impact testosterone production. Excessive alcohol intake can interfere with the hormonal processes involved, while smoking damages blood vessels, hindering the delivery of hormones throughout the body.
So basically, if you're serious about optimizing your testosterone levels, those are two habits to ditch, like ASP. Now, a question that comes up a lot, supplements. What's the King's Road take on those?
They acknowledge the potential benefits of certain supplements, particularly vitamin D and zinc, especially if you're deficient. However, they strongly emphasize the importance of consulting a doctor before starting any supplementation.
Makes sense. Supplements can interact with other medications or underlying health conditions. Better to be safe than sorry.
There.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about what happens when testosterone levels dip too low. The guide doesn't sugarcoat the potential risks.
It's definitely not just about feeling a bit tired. Low testosterone can affect mood, leading to increased irritability, anxiety, and even depression. It can also impact libido, sleep quality, and cognitive function.
So it's not just a physical thing. It can really affect your mental and emotional well-being too.
Exactly. And the guide also points to a potential link between low testosterone and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease.
Wow. That's serious. So maintaining healthy testosterone levels isn't just about feeling good. It's about protecting your long-term health too.
Absolutely. It's about optimizing your overall health and vitality.
Which brings us back to the King's Road Guide's focus on those natural boosters. They really seem to emphasize a holistic approach. It's not just about one thing, it's about all these factors working together.
Exactly. They even have a section on optimizing your environment, suggesting things like reducing exposure to endocrine disruptors, chemicals found in certain plastics and pesticides, that can interfere with hormone production.
So it's not just about what you put in your body, it's also about what you expose your body. TO, that's a whole other level of awareness.
It is, and it highlights how interconnected our health is with our environment.
For those of us who aren't quite ready to go full-on off-grid, are there any simple steps we can take to minimize our exposure to these endocrine disruptors?
The guide suggests opting for glass or stainless steel containers. For food storage, filter your water. Choosing organic produce whenever possible. And being mindful of personal care products that might contain these harmful chemicals.
So it's about making informed choices.
And
being aware of those hidden culprits.
Precisely. Knowledge is power, as they say.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about what testosterone is, why it's important for both men and women, and how to naturally boost those levels. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on something that really struck me in the King's Road Guide.
What's that?
They emphasize that optimizing testosterone isn't just about chasing some arbitrary number. It's about finding what's healthy for you as an individual.
That's such an important point. Everyone's body is different, and what works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. And it goes back to that holistic approach. It's about listening to your body, paying attention to how you feel, and making adjustments as needed.
It's about taking ownership of your health and finding what feels right for you.
And the King's Road Guide provides a roadmap. Not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's empowering.
It is. It takes the mystery out of testosterone optimization and gives you the tools and knowledge to make informed decisions.
Speaking of informed decisions, they do touch on the more medical side of things, like testosterone replacement therapy. But they're very clear that this should always be a last resort and done under the guidance of a healthcare professional.
Absolutely. It's not something to be taken lightly. The guide focuses primarily on those natural methods we've been discussing, emphasizing that lifestyle changes can have a profound impact.
And that's really the takeaway here, isn't it? We have more control over our testosterone levels than we might think. It's not just about genetics or age. It's about the choices we make every day.
Exactly. It's about taking a proactive approach to your health and well-being.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of testosterone optimization, what's one key piece of advice you'd leave our listener with?
I'd say start by focusing on those foundational pillars: quality sleep, a nutrient-rich diet, regular exercise, and stress management. These are the cornerstones of hormonal balance.
Simple yet powerful. And if you're looking for more in-depth guidance, definitely check out the King's Road Guide 2024-2025 to increase testosterone. It's packed with practical tips, fascinating facts, and even recipes.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone looking to take their health to the next level.
Well said. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive and feel equipped to embark on your own testosterone optimization journey. Remember, it's not about becoming a superhuman. It's about feeling your best and living a vibrant, energized life.
And remember, small changes can lead to big results. Start with one thing, make it a habit, and build from there.
Great advice. Keep those questions coming. And until next time, happy optimizing.